Hey everyone, this is Ultra Winner. Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about the soon go up for pre-order. It's a new JND 1/6 statue they're putting out, part of their hyperreal movie statues series. First 1/6 scale they're doing, and this is their platinum level. And been a lot of talk in the 1/6 community about this piece, simply because it's JND, which means it's going to be super expensive, as far as initial thoughts before it came out. And then, of course, they came out and said it's going to be $10.99. And, of course, a lot of the community lost their mind because it's, $1,100 for a statue versus a figure. And then a lot of people are talking about, what are the components going to be made of other than the silicone body and, the punched hair, as opposed to how NR and Hot Toys does it and stuff like that. So a lot of just like kind of discourse about it. They came out and said $10.99 is going to be worldwide shipping. Apparently, according to what was stated before, that leads to be seen once we actually see it go up. So once it goes up officially on the website, we'll know if it's going to be worldwide. But it's pretty cool. Again, a lot of the discourse was like, it's a statue. Why is it so expensive? This was like $500. It'd make a lot more sense. But we all know JD doesn't do anything inexpensively at all. And there was no way this was going to be cheap. And I can tell you, as a huge BVS fan, as a huge Zack Snyder Justice League fan, I was a big fan of Gal Gadot and as Wonder Woman. You guys see my collection tours. I've got the BVS poster on the wall, and they came with 3 different versions. The version I have up is a Gal Gadot version. I do have the NR BVS on order. I have a shelf dead center in my display that's for my BVS stuff, and I have Justice League pieces as well. Waiting for those to continue to come out, hopefully by NR. This was literally, I saw it and I was like, this is something I didn't even know I wanted. Now, it is a statue 100%, but you do get to change, apparently, according to this, at least the head position and the eye position. And, there was a lot of complaints about how the likeness isn't spot on to her. I think the straight one in the center isn't as great. It's good, but it's not great. But the one on the left, if you're looking at the screen, when she's looking to center screen, that one is crazy spot on, because if you look at the BVS poster, the one they put up for March 25th of 2016, that's usually what was on the actual poster. So that poster, her looking back over her shoulder, man, that is like spot on. I see that poster every day. I mean, literally, it's right in my office as I walk into my office. So I definitely think the likeness is there. It's not perfect. It's not 100%, but I mean, this is a 9 out of 10. I definitely would say at least a 9 out of 10. It might be a little bit better than that. And the uniform, the outfit looks good as far as how that's done. I think this looks phenomenal. And you guys know me, I don't talk about anything unless I'm going to pick it up, or if it's something I've already gotten. And this is definitely something I want to get. And one of the other complaints in the community was this piece is, once you put it on your shelf across your room, it's going to lose a lot of that detail because it's only 6 scale. It's not as big as like a quarter scale or a third scale, where you can still see that detail from 8, 9, 10 feet away. Well, I can tell you, I'm going to get this. It's going to be on my desk because it's a 6 scale figure. Even on that Parademon base, is not that big. I'm assuming it's the Parademon base. That's something I can assume it is, like their remains or something like that. That base isn't that big, so that's probably not going to be no more than 15 inches, because she's probably not that tall. If it's true 6 scale, then she's probably going to be about 10 inches. And then you put it on a 3-inch base, is probably what that is. That's really not that bad at all. Like saying, and on my desk, I've got a 70-inch desk, so I mean, she's going to be sitting 3 feet away from me. So I think this is phenomenal. They just dropped the and like I said, they just dropped the video a little while ago, just a few minutes ago, like right before I was going to bed, I was like, man, what is JND dropping now? And just kind of shows, 360 spin of the figure, talking about the new, their platinum level, a little bit of a close up of it. And I think, like I said, I think this is crazy, crazy cool. And, a lot of the community was talking about how, JND is being JND again with making super expensive stuff. And then, telling us, just get ready for it, how they were warning the community or getting the community prep for the pricing before. But at the end of the day, we buy a lot of stuff not just because it's what we want to see. A lot of times we want the best representation of it. And a statue is not for everybody. I don't own any statues. Well, technically I own like a bust, but that's something I got as a gift 27 years ago of Boba Fett. But aside from that, everything I have is action figures, 6 scale, or I've got a, quarter scale Boba Fett. But everything else, Transformers, are all action figures, Masterpiece, mainline. But I think with something like this, you do have some versatility, because a lot of people who buy 6 scale, they want the best version they can get. Well, are you looking for the best in detail, or are you looking the best for articulation? Some people want the best in articulation. Well, honestly, I don't think any 6 scale figure we get has great articulation. That's really 12 scale. And if you picked up a N-Art 12 scale figure, those things are crazy. The articulation is so good, and you can do so much dynamic posing and movements and things like that with those figures. Well, if you grab the N-Art, I don't know, BBS Superman, he doesn't move like that because he's 6 scale. That's just kind of how it works. Whereas like some people like to get something that looks the best, which is why a lot of people buy N-Art over Hot Toys, because Hot Toys makes a Wonder Woman, and as soon as this one was announced, those Wonder Womans went onto the on eBay like super quick. Yes, the WB 100, it was special, blah 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 blah. But in the day, that Wonder Woman didn't even have moving eyes. So if you thought she looked better, had a better likeness, and you thought the hair was better, which is your opinion, you thought the suit was better, which I think the suit is cool because I like that bright, WW84 kind of look. She's on moving eyes, and so that really takes away from that figure. So a lot of people upgraded to the new Wonder Woman, of course, and the new Wonder Woman gives you moving eyes and silicone body and the whole nine. So even within the 6 scale community, we do that. We will spend a little bit more money to get something better, and I think that's the same. We do the same thing with cars. I mean, if you can buy a super inexpensive car, or you can buy a really nice car. Most people choose to buy the nicest car they can get. A lot of people, or they can afford it. A lot of times people don't go out and buy the absolute cheapest thing they can possibly find. It's just not how it works, for reliability reasons, whatever the case may be. But the same thing for collecting. If you buy for what reason you want. And I think this is a good example of taking stuff to another tier, and then giving people who are museum pose people. Like, I'm not one of those. I don't really museum pose hardly any figures I have. But if I wanted to museum pose it, it'd be nice to have something that's already pre-posed, incredible materials, don't have to worry about joints or anything like that being an issue, the clothing getting in the way, not sitting the right way I want it to sit. And typically JND has premium materials on all of their stuff. I love their bases because their bases are simple, kind of like what NR does. I know on their 3rd scale Wonder Woman, her sword was plastic, like kind of flimsy plastic too, and I'm hoping the sword and shield will be die cast, or which would be nice to have that. But I can tell you, this looks phenomenal, and this is hopefully, I don't know how big the edition size is going to be. They haven't really announced it. I know it's supposed to go up for pre-order on Friday. I am definitely hoping to get this. I would love to be in that, to be up and be able to get this piece, because I think it's phenomenal, and I'm looking forward to having this on my display, like really on my desk, like I say, a couple feet away from me. and just be able to to see something that's nice in 6 scale, because 6 scale we get some crazy stuff. I mean, you look at how Hot Toys have really advanced and how NRs come up, and even JND's figures have gotten great. And I know a lot of people are complaining that this should have been cheaper than a figure, because a figure actually has, you're paying a lot of money for the um, articulation and things like that, and I think that's probably a good point to argue. I guess my question is going to be, and I guess we'll all find this out on Friday, is, or maybe they'll reveal it before then, is this, are they really putting like the most premium materials on this outfit? Is this outfit going to be, I mean, die cast shield, die cast sword, I'm assuming it's going to be real leather, her harness, how's the bottom's going to be, the skirt material, what is this all going to really kind of come boil down to as far as overall quality parts? Because if you're going to pay $1,100, $10.99, $1,100 before shipping, before taxes, before tariffs, for a 6 scale figure, or a 6 scale statue technically, with just a small head adjustment, this has got to be something exceptional. But I can tell you, for me personally, there's a lot of stuff I don't pick up and I don't talk about, because again, like you guys know, for me on my channel, I don't like to yuck anybody's yum, so I don't talk about stuff I don't really care about, and I also don't want to sit here and gloss over something that you may think that's great that I don't really know much about. So but for me, like I say, for like this stuff I bring up is usually stuff I'm on, and like I said, I am definitely on this, so hopefully I'm able to pick this up. But let me know you guys' thoughts in the comments below. What do you guys think about JND jumping into this statue, 1/6 statue venue? Is this something that you think is going to help the game increase? Is this a new category that you don't want in 6 scale, or are you like me? This was like something you didn't even know you wanted. It was like, I didn't even know I needed this until I saw this show up. So, but just let me know your comments below. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Thanks so much. Later.